Yo, what's up? Today I want to talk about dating, mainly for Christian men. This episode's for you guys. Um, it's a hard world out there, man. And if you're feeling lonely, and if you're feeling like you just can't find a woman, and it feels like you're in Sodom, and you just feel rejected all the time, this is for you. I've been there, man. I've totally been there. And we're going to kind of be talking about this while I'm cleaning up my RV. So that's just what we're doing, bruh. It's a hard world out there, man. And I know for me, dude, when I was in the military, I was Fire Christ Rescue. You know, I wanted to find a woman. My friends were with their wives and stuff like that. And they just seemed happy and they had someone to go home to at night. And you get paid more, dude. Let's be real. You're out of the dorms, you get paid more, you're chilling, good stuff. But in all reality, like 99% of those guys got divorced, or had kids and then got divorced, or had a kid with someone they didn't even marry. And it's just like, it's a disaster. It's a recipe for disaster, really. And dude, I've been on all the dating apps, OkCupid, Hinge, Tinder, all the other ones. I've been on them all, bro. Christian Mingle. They're toxic. So toxic, guys. Stay away from those, 100%. Because it's like this. You have to know who you are first to even start dating. Like, you have to know who you are. And it's hard to know who you are when you've always been in relationships. Because if you like it or not, a lot of the times you're not your true self. You're trying to be this super self that you're really not, and you're trying to impress that girl so you don't lose her. And in all reality, if she finds out who you really are, she might not like you. And for me, I had to focus on a lot of things. Because when I was drinking, or when I was dating, I was drinking a lot. And by drinking a lot, I was an alcoholic, right? And so I wouldn't date a girl that didn't drink. Why is that? Because of movies, because of country songs, because of all this stuff that we're constantly flooded with all the time to, this is the perfect relationship, especially country. Country's horrible on that. It's about dudes finding a chick, going to a bar because you lost her, drinking, and then finding a girl at a bar or somewhere, and then repeat cycle. And if you don't notice, a lot of times when people write music, it's because they're sad and they're trying to express themselves. So music, TV, anything you see on social media or on this thing is bad. Just get away from that. You need to spend time alone by yourself. And I'll tell you what, man. Before I started van lifing, I went out in the woods, and it was literally so quiet, and I thought I was going to lose my mind. Because I could hear my own thoughts. You want to be alone with your own thoughts. That's you, man. And it took me a long time to get past that. And then even when I got past that, I was still lonely. And then so what I did was I got a flip phone right over here. And I got this flip phone, and it was great, man. You can't have dating apps on here. You can't watch porn. Porn. This is great for that. And you're like, well, I need it because of my job, or I need it because of this, or I need it because I travel, or I need it because of this. I was an alcoholic. I made excuses all day long. The reality of it is you don't. I flew to Alaska with this. Okay? This is just bad, dude. It's just bad. Everything on it's bad. Especially like Instagram, Facebook, this and that, sharing your opinions with people that you don't even know. It's just like commenting. It's just bad. And especially dating apps. Because you get on a dating app, and dating apps are about lust. And you're like, no, they're not. Yeah, they are, dude. It's about seeing a picture of someone and being like, yeah, she's hot, and then swiping on them. I know me, man. If I see a girl walk by and she got a big old booty, and it's a booty so big that I don't even know how she fits in jeans. That's hot. But I know if I based everything on that and I go talk to that girl, everything on that's gonna be based on the booty. Lust. Right? But I know, because recently I experienced this, I met this girl, and although she did reject me, I realized what it was like to truly like someone. Because I didn't even know what her body looked like, man. I didn't care, because I liked who was inside. Okay, so, and the biggest thing I can try to tell you guys is just stop looking, man. Now I know you're like, okay, I'm not looking, and you're waiting for that chick to show up. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about focusing on you. And I'm not talking like for selfish reasons. I'm talking about improving yourself. Quitting drinking. Quitting smoking weed. Quitting things that you have to do every day. That's a slave. You're a slave to that thing. Even phones. Phones are a big thing. You know, me, it's movies, man. And recently I got on Zens, and I quit 3 years ago. And I'm going to quit because I do not want to be a slave to anything. And coffee, dude. That too. That's why it's good to fast. Just have water. Just water. Throughout the whole day. And then you realize what you know, it's like a reset for your body. And with that, your body heals itself when you fast. So it's amazing, you know. But I've been single for 5 years, and I'll tell you what, the first 3 are pretty tough. And then after that, you start to look at women, and yeah, they're cool as friends and stuff, but you're just like, no, I'm good, man. I'm happy. I'm chilling. I'm with my dog, traveling around the United States, just doing whatever I want. If you guys don't know, I got medically discharged from the military, and my back got worse over time. And then now, you know, I get a disability check from the military. I'm 90, but I get paid at 100%, so I'm kind of like I'm medically retired-ish. And so I could either spend that money on rent, half of it, or I could just travel. And that's what I decided to do, was just travel. So I always said I would do it if I was in that situation, and here I am, baby. I'll tell you what, though. If you're van lifing and looking for a woman, don't even try, bro. Especially because you moved from town to town, and you're like, oh, that girl's cute at a coffee shop. She seems cool. But you're going to be leaving. So it's like, whatever, dude. You just got to realize women are not the answer to your loneliness. There is a void inside of you. And you keep filling that void up with everything but God. And then God likes to reside in people that fill that void with him, and then he can reside in you and just chill. But you can't do that if you have things that you're a slave to. He doesn't like to chill in there with all that craziness, you know? So I'm just saying, like, work on yourself, man. Improve yourself. Improve yourself, and then you can focus on other stuff, right? And then eventually, you know, that chick will come along. And then you can go about it that way. So I'm just saying, focus on yourself, buy some toys. And I'm not saying spend, you know, I'm saying to try to fill that void. That's another thing people do, is they spend money to try to fill that void. And that's not what you want to do. For me, you know, I fill in that void with alcohol, with watching movies, with weed, nicotine, dating apps. Dating apps are fun, dude. It's like instant dopamine overload. And that's what this phone is, man. These things, the reason why they're so toxic is it tells you where to go, it answers your questions, you can find dating on it. It's literally a god with a little g. And a lot of people like worship these things, you know? And it's not good. It's not good. It's a $50 phone, and it can play Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really easy to get trapped nowadays. So, what I'm saying, guys, is stop focusing on women. Live your dreams. As long as it lines up with God's views. And you'll realize that, like, you'll know. There's a little voice inside of everyone's heads. And it tells you what's right or wrong, deep down. And you have to listen to that voice. But the more you don't listen to it and you start doing things that you're not supposed to do, that little hump in the road will be smooth. And then it'll just be smooth sailing. You can do whatever you want to do and have in your brain's not saying, hey, that's wrong. So, especially with like sleeping around and stuff like that. Sleeping around's horrible. Because you can get STDs, unwanted pregnancies. The worry in my mind when I sleep around is just, I do not like it. I don't even find enjoyment in sleeping around because it's like if I truly like someone, it's different. I'm not saying have sex before you're married because I'm guilty of that too. But I'm just saying I can't sleep around with random chicks because I don't find enjoyment in it. I don't like them. It's like okay, cool. Felt the same as last time. You know what I mean? So it's just like not good. And then you got to worry about Plan B and abortions and all that. And for me, I think it's as simple as this. If God wants that baby to live, he'll let it live. If it dies coming out, well, it wasn't meant to be on this earth. So, abortions are playing God. And it's murder. So, if a jellyfish doesn't have a heart or a brain, and it's still alive, I'm just saying. So, you don't want any of that on your conscience, man. And then when it's on your conscience, you try to persuade other people to do it too because you feel guilty about it. So, I'm just saying, man, the Bible warns men about women so many times. So many times. If anything should come with a warning, it's women. And for women, it should be men. Warning sign. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just like, that can ruin your life faster than anything else can. Even drinking. Now, drinking's bad. Drinking's bad. I used to drink half a fifth or 3/4 of a fifth a day. It's a lot. And then, for the grace of God, he just ripped it out of my soul. I did have to go to rehab for marijuana, though. It's funny, right? It's not addictive, but I went to rehab for it. Think about that. Especially before it gets legalized. Like, it doesn't solve your problems. It's a Band-Aid. It's literally a Band-Aid. So, yeah. Especially for someone like me, man. I got pain every day. I used to smoke weed all day long, and I realized it caused me more pain. So, if you're lonely, and you feel alone and rejected, you're focusing on the wrong thing. It's all up here. It's all up there, man. And I know it sucks. It's not going to happen overnight, especially when you meet a girl in a store and you're just like instantly attracted to her. Say what's up. Be her friend and get to know her. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be like, nah, man, I'm good. I know for me, I would ask girls out in the gym, and then I found out they had a boyfriend or husband, and then I would hang out with them together, and then when I got the boyfriend or husband's phone number, I would start texting him instead of the woman, and we would hang out, and then, we were great friends, and I would realize, like, I would never date that girl. But, we're cool friends, but her husband's dope. I don't know. But, yeah, so that's the advice I got for you, man. Just live your life. Don't worry about women. It's not worth a breath. Some of the greatest men in the Bible were single. And I know you're like, don't want to hear that, but it's true. So, yeah. Anyways, it's pretty plain. I didn't really do much, but yeah, I just want to have a little chat with y'all. So if you're feeling lonely and rejected, you're not alone. You're not alone. And, you know, just focus on the right stuff. Get a dog. Go to the pound. Adopt a dog. I did. He's like the cutest dog in the whole world. His name's Emperor Cusco. And he's the best. And I'll show you guys my other videos. Or if you want to watch my other videos, you'll see him. But he's dope, dude. And I travel everywhere with him. And he won't cheat on me. He just is a good boy, you know, and he's the best. So, yeah. But yeah, focus on yourself. Fill that void with God. And eventually the right one might come along. But if she doesn't, you're not a loser. You're just living the life you're meant to live, man. So, we don't need any more single moms in this world. The prisons are already full enough. If you don't know, I don't know if I want to get into that, but the likelihood of a single parent, single mom raising a kid, they're much more likely to end up in prison than a single dad. But don't really want to get into that too much. But I'm just saying, just focus on what's right. And you're good. You're good, man. You're chilling. You're proving yourself for you. You're not improving yourself for someone else. Right? I hear this all the time when I was in rehab. Guys would quit alcohol and they're like, well, I'm doing this for my wife. Well, I'm doing this for my kids. It's like, what about for you, dude? You should be doing this for you. That's why I sent myself to rehab for weed. I was doing it for me. Because I knew it was wrong. I shouldn't be doing this every day, and I couldn't quit. It's for me and God. Okay, I should say it's God and then me. You know what I mean? So, that's about the kit and caboodle. So, go out there, guys. Have a great day. Don't focus on women. Just keep it the furthest thing. Now, when I look at women, they're like a pretty flower with thorns all over them. And I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to get stabbed. I don't want to bleed out. So, cheers. I'm going to get on with the rest of the day. Whatever it holds. And remember, sobriety is the best. And it's hard. If you need to go to rehab, there's no shame in that. You know, find someone to take care of your dog or whatever. And especially if you're a veteran, dude, the VA's got a great program for that. It's fantastic. You know, for that or PTSD, they got two separate ones. So, both of them are fantastic. I would definitely recommend it. Cool, dude. Catch you on the flip. Peace.